flying without a care. I'll be searching far and wide, stereo blasting, wild ride, metal gleams, chrome shines, freedom's mine in these lines. Fast lane on fire tonight, burning rubber, feeling right. Throttle down, heartbeats race, chasing dreams of breakneck pace. Sky's blue, engines roar, endless journey, wanting more. Adrenaline pumping veins, living fast, breaking chains. Rock anthems in my ears, speeding past my only fears. Neons glowing, city's pulse, life's electric, never dulls. Fast lane on fire.
Hey everybody, this is Danny with Legendary Muscle, and today I'm here with Kenny in his 2000 Plymouth Prowler Woodward Edition. Well, thank you for being on the show, man.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
So, Plymouth Prowler, huh? So, first of all, explain to me, how did you get this car?
Oh boy, years ago I built Cudas. Had a Barracuda. I was working at a Chrysler dealer in '97 when they first come up, and the store owner wanted my Barracuda. He says, here's a plumb crazy Plymouth Prowler, you want to trade straight across? And I turned him down, but this has always been me, the oddball, you know, the different stuff there. So I turned him down. I used my Barracuda for the next 20 years, and 20 years of having the same car, just it's time for something new.
Yeah.
So I sold that and come up with the Prowler.
And got one of these, huh?
Yep.
So now, this is the Woodward Edition. What's so different about this edition?
This one here was a tribute to Woodward Avenue up in Detroit. It's numbered and signed and all of that, but it's the only two-tone black and red that signifies what that is. They made 151 of these, one of them for the concept car, the rest of them were all for production. But it was basically a tribute to Woodward Avenue.
Oh, that's cool. And it does have that hot rod vibe look. I mean, nobody can deny that.
Nobody can deny that.
Now, did these come with the pinstriping I see on the?
It did not.
Okay.
Woodward Edition was a black hood, red body, and the red pinstripe. I just wanted to change things up a little bit, so I had a wrap done just on the black on here, and it looked okay, but the pinstriping really set it off. So now it is still stock. I can just simply peel the black off there, and it's right back to the stock point.
So this car, they say it was intended to be an experimental car, right?
An experimental car, yes.
For aluminum cars?
For testing out the aluminum, see how that would work out for future cars.
Okay, so the frame on this is all aluminum, and
frame is all aluminum, yes.
All right. So, being that said, it was all pretty much hand assembled, right?
Hand assembled, yes. Yep.
Okay. So, do you know what the whole idea was behind the hot rod look on this? I mean, especially for an experimental car.
They had talked about taking the cars out of the K car era and the minivan era and giving Plymouth something different to pull them out of that era.
And I heard that, what was it, Chip Foose?
Chip Foose had a lot to do with the design in there. He apparently initiated or something at the very beginning of.
Yeah, he had some kind of a sketch or something, and I guess that planted a seed in somebody's head.
Planted the seed in there.
All right. So these cars, they were like a 5-year run, I believe, right?
That's what they were. They were, the first 3 years was Plymouth, the Plymouth badge, and then Chrysler took over in the year 2001 and 2002.
So I see that the interior is red as well. Is that something that they did with the cars back then?
They did not. This was my little special, bring it to my own world. It came up with the stock gray with a color matching gauge cluster, which is red. But the rest of it was gray. I've changed that all up to my own personal effects, black and red, the same as the car.
So the rest inside is that. These cars came pretty much all the same on the inside except for that color panel, right?
That's correct.
So no other options of this or that, or
No other options.
all right.
Yep.
So now your wheels, these are pretty beefy wheels in the back, especially, and for that time in that era, I think those were probably the biggest.
That was the biggest wheel and tire combination you could get stock at that time.
Production
Yes.
model.
Yep.
So what size are they?
The rears are 295 40 20s.
Okay, that's a big tire.
That's a big tire. The fronts are 17-inch, I believe 235 60 17.
Okay, so now the tires these are run flats, right?
They come up with run flats, but they ran like a brick. So we took those off and we put another manufacturer on there.
Oh, okay.
And it just changed the whole ride of the car.
All right.
Smooth, very enjoyable now.
And that makes sense not having to have run flats, because if not, you'd have to have two different kinds of tires.
Two different kinds of tires for
different rims,
spares,
yeah.
and as you can see, there's no room for that.
Yep,
There's not
exactly.
enough room for a compressor.
Yeah. So, suspension-wise, what kind of suspension? Because I see these. Are these the A-arms? Are they aluminum? As well?
The control arms on here,
control arms?
yes, they are all aluminum.
Okay. So what's the suspension like on this?
It's got a cantilever adjustable shock inside with a rod that comes down to the lower control arm.
Okay.
So all the suspension is in the front, right over in front by the battery.
Oh, okay. And is the rear, is that independent suspension?
It is all independent suspension with the transmission transaxle in the back.
Okay. So speaking of the transmission, can we have a look at the engine?
Sure,
All right.
sure.
So Kenny, is this a V6? Because that engine cover says Hemi on it.
It does say
What's the-
Hemi on it.
What's the story with that?
Does it really have a Hemi in there or no?
Can't see.
You can't see. They a lot of people are playing around and putting Hemis in there because they did come up with a stock 3.5 liter V6 in it, and people were complaining that it was underpowered and they didn't like a hot rod with a 6-cylinder.
Gotcha.
Just didn't fit all of the hot rod criteria. So this is a 5.7 liter Hemi cover in it.
Okay.
It obviously does fit.
It does.
Who knows what's underneath it?
Okay, we'll keep that a secret.
But they do fit.
Okay. So we'll keep that under wraps what it is. So you said the transmission on this is in the back, right?
Yes, it's got just a tube that runs direct drive right off of the engine to the back where the transmission transaxle is, with
Okay.
independent suspension there.
All right. So that the transmission is a 5-speed?
4-speed.
Four-speed.
4-speed automatic with a slapstick.
Okay. And from what I recall, that transmission they used in other cars that Plymouth and Dodge were using, right?
Yes, this was
The
produced.
LH cars, I think they were
LH
called.
cars.
Yeah.
That's correct. Yep.
That's pretty cool how they can grab a transmission that's normally mounted on an engine and then
Put it in the
shove
back.
it in the back.
Absolutely.
Now the other transmissions, I recall that it had a safety feature, was even if you were in slapstick, if you went above a certain RPMs, it would shift for you.
Exactly.
But I think this one they took that out.
They
right?
took all of that out. It's strictly manual.
Okay.
I can take it right up to max RPM on one gear, and it's going to stay there until I slap it out of that gear,
or blow the engine
or
up.
blow the engine up, whichever comes first.
All right. Well, this looks like a fun car to drive.
It is.
Do you think we could take a drive?
Absolutely.
Okay,
yes.
cool.
Let's go out and have some fun.
So I appreciate the ride you're giving us here today.
I'm loving it. Let's do it more.
All right. So this car, it does have a real hot rod look to it. That's what I meant.
It does have a hot rod look to it. With the aftermarket exhaust we put on there, the Borla exhaust, it sounds throaty too.
Yeah. And it's on your gauges, they do say, okay, it's center gauges and everything meant to represent the old hot rods. And it even has the tachometer on your steering wheel.
It
Just
does.
like, now, did that come stock like that in that place?
It is all stock, yes.
Okay. A good thing you took the top off too, because I feel that I'd be hitting my head on over here.
It's got a lot of room inside of it. It's just getting in and out. You have to lower your head down to about your knees to get past the edge of the door, or the edge of the top.
So, I forgot to mention when we were talking about the car while we were outside of it. That's a pretty cool trailer in the back you got there. It looks exactly like the car in the back.
It does. It looks just like the back half of the car, and it's pretty much a necessity. If you go anywhere, you might be able to go to the grocery store, but that's about it. You're not going to put all your groceries in the box on the back of there, but
Oh yeah, because besides having your transmission there, you still have your gas tank
your
back
gas
there too.
tank is all back there. Your transmission, yep.
Now,
And your convertible top is back in there.
Okay. Now this has two convertible tops, right?
It's got a removable hard top that was color matched to the car, and it's got the stock black convertible top that folds up inside of the back.
Okay. So that trailer that you have in the back, that is a Chrysler product, correct?
From what I gather, it's a third party that manufactured it for Chrysler. It does have a Chrysler stamp on it, so.
Okay, so it is a Chrysler product.
Yep.
Now, did you mentioned this was the Woodward Edition?
The Woodward Edition, yes.
Did it come with that, or did you have to buy that optional back then?
The trailer being the Woodward Edition, that was bought separately.
Okay.
Did not come with this car, but they only made 26 of those. That's number one.
Oh, so you got number one right there.
Got number one right there.
Okay.
The car they made 151 of. This is number 70.
Okay. This is number what? Sorry.
70. 70. It's all numbered and signed.
Wow. So your car was pretty much the first one of this edition to have that, right?
The trailer.
The trailer.
Yes.
Of this specific edition.
Yep.
So the ride on this is actually pretty good. It's not like riding on bricks or anything.
I told you, that's what was needed, was take those run flats off, and it runs nice and smooth.
It does. And I mean, they gave it a 5-year run, and it was supposed to be a 5-year run anyway. It didn't stop because it's not being a success or anything.
That's correct. It was supposed to just be for a 5-year run.
Yeah. Just to see how they can do with the aluminum bodies.
With the aluminum bodies and the chassis, yes.
So I noticed you also have like a little mini trunk on there too.
That's the necessity for going to the grocery store, yes.
Okay, so you don't have to always take the trailer behind you.
I don't always have to take the trailer, no. Most of the times I'm going without the trailer because it's big enough to hold the couple chairs we take to a car show or our drinks, but not a whole lot bigger than that. But
so what kind of looks do you get at the car shows?
we get a lot of attention. People love something that's uniquely different. So that's they flock around the car all the time.
Well, yeah, when I saw it, I mean, I've seen Prowlers in the past. This is probably my third Prowler I've seen.
Okay.
Since they've been out.
How do you like them?
I like it actually.
Yep.
And even though they say the engines that came in these, the V6 engines they came with, for the weight of the car and it being aluminum,
right?
It was still a decently fast car. I mean,
it was
0 to 60 in what, 7 seconds or something like that.
Something like that.
This is cool, man.
I like getting there faster.
Oh yeah. And I mean, do you have any the cruise that they do actually? They do a cruise in
oh yeah, they've got one going
Woodward.
in the Woodward Dream Cruise up in Detroit, where this car is built from. They have that going on every year.
Okay, have you ever gone to it?
I have not. I'd like to, but right now they've got one going on in the Ozarks.
Oh, okay.
Where they've got just Prowlers out there cruising.
All right. Well, I mean, I appreciate this time you gave us.
Oh, you're so welcome.
Do you have any special shout out you want to give to anybody?
I just all the cruisers.
All the cruisers?
Yep. Here's one of the unique things about it is, we're in a day and age where all the Mustangs and Chargers and Challengers and everybody's fighting to be uniquely different. This is my style. I'm different. I'm right in the Chrysler badge, but not everybody appreciates them. But that makes me have to work all that much harder to get appreciation and get noticed from everyone out there, and it's working.
Oh yeah, and there is a large following of people that follow these cars as well.
Yes, there is.
Yeah, it's you've got people on both sides of the aisle basically.
You do. Yep.
You either love it or you hate it.
You love it or you hate it. That's correct.
And like what was his name? Bob from Chrysler. He said, "Well, And if you don't, that's fine with
That's
me.
fine with me.
All right, everybody, you've seen it, you've heard it. Straight from Kenny and Danny. If you like this episode, like and subscribe. See you guys later.
Thanks, guys.